here is your opening clip to this vloggy vlog. Because do I ever remember to do an opening clip? No. But does my hair look nice at the moment? Yes. So get ready. This is an amazing readathon vlog for legs 3, 4, 5, and pretty much all of Face Off. So let's get jiggy with it. We are monsters. We give and we take. We get. Hold up. Sitting on my son's bed, cleaning his room. We are getting rid of stuff. We are purging. I'm getting rid of stuff for this giant children's sale, this JBF sale that they have every year where you can sell a bunch of like clothes for consignment. And so I'm trying to make some money. So we're selling a bunch of their clothes in these trash bags over here. That is the plan. But I wanted to come on since I did cut off the old vlog and start this new vlog. Oh my gosh, these headphones are bothering me when they're not on my ears. And I want to talk about the Bridge Kingdom. So I'm going to post up a picture of it because I just don't have it with me right now. I have about an hour left of audio and it has significantly slowed down, friends. The first like 15-20%, I was like really hooked. We were getting a lot of great information, which I assume that I said what this book was about, but since it's a new vlog, we'll just talk about it. We have our princess, Laura, and basically her father, and she had a bunch of siblings, and her father trained them all, like basically tortured them and kind of trained them to just be like merciless killers, like to like help reclaim their kingdom in this war. And so she gets chosen to be the princess, to be an arranged marriage between them and this other neighboring land so that they can like bring peace between the two lands. And she goes over there, but she is actually secretly being raised to be a spy by the dad so that she can go over there and seduce the prince, who's soon to be the king, once after they get married, and then kill him and then take over their land. And so that is her plan. Whereas he is marrying her, you know, not thinking that she's a spy. And so like she has to try to seduce him. And so it's all that. And so like the first 20-22% was really great. I was having a great time with it. Like we were getting to know like a little bit about them, like their stories. Like it was very fascinating. And then it just kind of came to a lull. And I've been bored for a lot of this book. And like I said, I have an hour left. So I am going to finish it because I need to finish it for leg 2 so that I can start doing sightseeing prompts. I'm just a little lackluster here. Like, because I liked it so much in the beginning, I'll probably give it a 3.5. But I am very sad in this development. However, everybody says you need to keep going in the Bridge Kingdom. And that book 1 is not the best. And so I'm going to hold out for that. I do own the Traitor Queen. I will probably get to that sooner than later so that I can decide whether the series is for me or not. I'm just sad because I loved A Fading to Blood and I was hoping to add Danielle L. Jensen as an all-time favorite author. I can't do that just yet based off of this book. But it's fine. You know, everything's fine. So I'm going to go listen to the rest of this while I keep cleaning his room. And then we'll see what my final rating shall be. Morning, friends. I'm doing my bangs really quick, so I figured I would give you an update. It is currently June 6th, and I did finish The Bridge Kingdom yesterday, and I didn't actually tell you what I thought of it. I was right. I ended up giving it a 3.5. There was a twist towards the end that I didn't see coming, but I probably should have, all things considered. And that did keep me intrigued, but I don't know, the pacing felt really off towards the end, and I did like where the story's going, so obviously, like, I am invested in what's going to happen next between Aaron and Laura, but it just was alright. So, 3.5 stars, I'm a little sad because I really did want to love this, but I still did really enjoy it. Like, I do like her writing a lot. Like, she knows how to write a story. She knows how to craft a story that I'm going to like. So it's not like I won't move on to the Traitor Queen probably sooner than later because I do actually own that. Sorry, I got distracted. I looked behind me and I saw that there was something sticking into my nice Name of the Wind edition. And then I found that one of my pages has been all ripped and torn. Thank you, my son. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? So yes, anyway, I will read the Traitor Queen soon. I really did enjoy it. I think overall that, like, it's a good book, okay? So, I knocked off leg number 2, and then I was all ready to able to count one sightseeing prompt for Imakoi Volume 1 by Ayuko Hata, I think, and that is a host favorite for Izzy. Or Shay, one of the two. And so I was able to get 100 GRC back. I'm trying to get all my GRC back from flying, so I have to read 3 more manga of Imakoi from the host favorites in order to gain it back, and I plan on doing that over the next couple of days. I am behind in my manga journey as well. I've technically read 4 manga. We're on day 6, so I need to read a couple more manga today. But that's fine. I can be able to do that. But the plans for reading for today is on the way to swim. I'm going to be listening to The Poison Study by Maria Schneider because I've got to finish that for a project. And then I can't find Done and Dusted. I think it's out there, so I'm going to hold up Swift and Saddled for now, but the goal is to finish Done and Dusted, hopefully, today. And then I will be able to get into Swift and Saddled by the weekend. And then I also want to just get a little bit further into the familiar. I just have too many books that I'm trying to read currently, and I need to start managing them. But Done and Dusted and A Poison Study are the main priority for today, and maybe I don't finish them in time for the next prompt to drop and it actually be a book that I can use it for, but like, who friggin' knows, you know? Who friggin' knows? Anyway, I am glad I read this. I was able to knock it off for Romantasy for the first book in a series. I almost put Marriage of Convenience, but they weren't marrying each other for that. Like, it was an arranged marriage. Like, neither of them wanted it. So, like, I wouldn't say it was a marriage of convenience. But anyway, I knocked off that. So I've read 2 for Romantasy. And I think this was also on my every Romantasy one. So, pretty good if I say so myself. Alright, I'm going to get to other things and I will be back to you later. It's time for Conversations with Rainy on the Road. Shh. And of course, as I'm driving, a new prompt is dropped. And so I listened to the video as I was driving. Anyway, what we are doing now is I looked at the prompt, and the prompt was for Berlin, Germany, and it was all about their monorails and all of their transportation systems. And so the prompt for number 3 has to be a book with movement in the title. It could be anything as simple as go or come. It could be, you know, playing, slaying. She gave all these examples. Land, walk, stand. Like, there's all these different movement examples. Do I have one that comes immediately to mind? No. I need to scour my shelves and see if there's a Romantasy book that I was going to use for Romantasy-a-thon, or something that I could use, a book that I was going to read soon. I'm sad that A Poison Study does not work for that, or that The Familiar doesn't work for it, because those are the 2 books I'm currently in the middle of, but it's fine. I'm like, does Saddle work for one, or Swift? I can move Swift. I guess that's not actually a movement. And Saddle... I can saddle. I'm like, that probably doesn't work. That's probably overstretching it. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Anyway, I need to find one with movement in the title, and I need to get working on that so I can start reading ASAP. So as soon as I get home, I'm going to scour my shelves before I get onto sprinting so that I know what book I'm going to start on my sprints, because I am doing sprints today. It's Friday. And then we'll go from there. Hello, hair up, shower, you know the life, okay? Anyway, we're here with an update for Done and Dusted. It is currently the night of June 6th, and I have finished the Done and Dusted, okay? I have done and I have dusted. That did not go as good as I thought. Anyway, if you hear my husband's guitar in the background, he just got this new portable amp and he's like obsessed with it and has to play it 24/7. But anyway, I am quite obsessed with this. And I might actually put a little video overlay of me like just showing the pages, because I love annotation and I love seeing what other people do when they annotate. Second, I had so much fun with this book. It was just so cute, okay? I love a good brother's best friend moment, and that is what it gave me. And I love, love, love a cinnamon roll man that also will stand up for his woman, and that is Mr. Luke Brooks right here, okay? That is Mr. Luke Brooks. He has won my heart over times 10. This was just so cute. I loved the whole thing. It was so sweet. I do need to put my annotation guide up here, but basically, I tabbed important key moments for Clementine, important key moments for Luke. The orange tabs are the most prevalent because those are scenes between them that I absolutely love. And then I have dark blue for friend / other family member moments that I thought were either cute or pivotal, or just like, you know, because there's really the found family in here. It's pretty fabulous. And then there's a couple pink ones for like just important parts of the story, like ADHD rep or background on Luke's story or background on Clementine's story. And so I wanted to make those a little bit separate so that when I go into the book club discussion, I can like find those pretty easily and talk about the things that I thought were so good. Oh, I actually turned to such a cinnamon roll. Oh yeah. What were they saying? They had just almost been caught, basically. Like, they had slept together for the first time. They're in her room, and then her brother knocks on the door, and he's like, oh crap. So he's like rushing to get his pants on. And so she starts toward the door after she tells him to go to the bathroom, and he says, hey. I turned back to him, and he came up to me, giving me a quick peck on the lips before flashing me a smile that turned my heart into a puddle at my feet. Okay, you can answer the door now. That is so cute. Everything this man does is cute. I just love this book. Honestly, I had such a good time with this. I'm so freaking excited to read Swift and Saddled soon, which, look at the tabs that I found for this. I think that matches pretty beautifully, and I'm ready to tab this bad boy up. Hopefully, I can get to use this for a prompt soon for Tar, so that I can actually read it. I mean, I'm going to read it regardless, but this was the priority for today. I'm also 36% into A Poison Study by Maria Schneider. Can't say anything about it. It's for a secret vlog, but you should know that is the book that I am focusing on right now. And then the next book that I hopefully will get to update you about is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo, because I really need to make further progress in that. And then I'm behind on my manga journey. I need to roll for a sightseeing. I need to read some more manga for accruing more GRC. I just have a lot to do, okay? I have a lot. Also, When the Moon Hatched Fairy Loot Edition dropped today at 11, and I was so scared I wasn't going to get it. I clicked right when it sent me the email, and it said I had a 4-hour wait, and my one friend got it like immediately, my other friend got it like an hour later, and so I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna run out. This is like my favorite book of the year. I cannot lose this bad boy. I acquired it, okay? I do have When the Moon Hatched Fairy Loot coming my way, and I'm so freaking excited, but it's not going to be here till August or September, which will be perfect, because then I'll have it to reread with. But, I mean, it's beautiful. Like, the picture is right there. Like, it's gorgeous, okay? And then I also have the Waterstones edition, which I will also post right here, coming, I think, it comes out on the 13th in the UK, so it'll come here soon after that. Anyway, do I need 2 special editions? No. But am I going to have them? Oh, yes, I am. Okay, anyway, so loved this. Gonna read Swift and Saddled at some point. I'm just rambling at this point, so I'm going to go start cleaning my house and listen to a lot more of the Poison Study so that I can get done with it. Hello, friends. A lot of reading and book hauls and things have gone on, so I figure I will do a giant update here. First off, I got my Probably Smut shirt for the month, which says Saddle Up with a Good Book. And the book of the month is Crossroads by Devney Perry, which just came out, and this is a new special edition cloth-bound cover, which love to see it. It came with stickers and stuff, but I already put all that away, so excited for that. Not read Prompt 3 for Tar, because today, all day, was basically dedicated to my all-day reading sprint for my Tortured Readers book club that I run with Katy, where we were reading Heir of Sun and Moon by Janessa Wren, and I only got to page 84 because, you know, kids and life, but I'm loving it. We're both tabbing. I'm having a great time. I'm just eating this up. It is so stinking good. So it is a Rapunzel retelling with like a bodyguard romance. I haven't gotten to the bodyguard romance yet because I just haven't, but let me just tell you, hearts are already breaking in these 84 pages. I'm already very sad, and I just love the story. I love the world. I love how this is set up to be a 5-book series because there are 5 realms, and I'm very intrigued in all of the 5 realms. So I'm very much loving this. I honestly need to continue. However, I'm taking a pause on this because I can't use this for Prompt 3, and I finally settled. I was going to read Swift and Saddled. I think I decided that, and then I decided, no, you need to read a romantasy book, and you need to read a book that you've been putting off that Jean and Amanda are also reading right now, so, like, I need to get in on the party. And that's The Shadow Prince by Helen Schurer, and so when I wasn't able to read physically because Heir of Sun and Moon doesn't have an audiobook, I was reading this, and so I got to page 54 out of like 400, which means I'm about 13% of the way in, and I'm really liking it. So this follows Drew and Talamir, and Drew is a noble woman who is also a ranger, which is kind of like a sword-wielding, like, military person, basically, and she wants vengeance because her family was slain by the evil, vicious Shadow Wraith a while back, and so she's determined to get revenge for her family. While Talamir has a very dangerous secret that he's hiding, he is half Shadow Wraith, and he cannot control himself one night of the month, basically like a werewolf type situation, and so he's trying to not let anybody know, except for she knows because she has this magic wristband that she wears that basically tells her where Shadow Wraiths are around. So then she's assuming that he did it, but he's determined to prove that he didn't do it, and he wants to actually find out, like, who is, which Shadow Wraiths are causing all of this destruction and damage, and so they have to join together to get what they want, and of course it is their romance, and it is so stinking cute. I'm loving it. They're already, like, very much into each other. I can tell that this is going to be a very smutty, very spicy time, and so I'm definitely here for it. Also, I have my little aardvark bookmark because I got my first 2 aardvark books. So at this point, we're going to talk a little bit about a haul. I got 2 aardvark books, one for May, one for June, and then I also got a bunch of books because I sold a bunch of books the other day, and no, I didn't film an unhaul. Should I have? Yes. Did I want to take the time to do it? Honestly, no. And so I'm just going to show you the books that I ended up buying because I got like $80 in store credit, which is pretty awesome. Start with the book haul before I get to Aardvark because Aardvark's at the bottom of the stack, but basically I got Graceling by Kristen Kishore, which I already had this. I had the very old edition copy and I wanted this copy, and this was literally $2 at the store, so I couldn't pass that up. And then I also got Warrior of the Wild by Tricia Levenfeller because I've never read one outside of Daughter of the Pirate King by her, which I absolutely loved, and I actually saw Tori from Tori Between Books reading this literally in her last vlog and absolutely loving it, so when it was $5, couldn't resist. Now this was a steal. I found this for $2 at the store, and it is in great condition. Now, you may be asking yourself, Rainy, don't you already own the whole series? Yes, I do. But do I know that these are out of print and that I can make a pretty penny on this on Pango? Yes, I do. So at the time that you're seeing this vlog, this is on my Pango. And I am selling it for significantly cheaper than most people are. So, if you want this, go check it out. Then I also picked up a fantasy that I hadn't really heard about until a couple of months ago, but everybody says that, like, if you're a fantasy girly, that you should read it, and that is The Lies of Loch Lamora. I've been very intrigued in it. I honestly don't know a lot about it, but it was very cheap, so you know what? I had to do it. And then I also picked up Sisters of Sword and Song by Rebecca Ross because I really love Rebecca Ross. I loved Divine Rivals. I loved A River Enchanted. And so I want to read the rest of her backlist. And so this was there. It was full price, but I had 80 bucks. So, you know, why not treat myself? Then we got An Ember in the Ashes by Sabah to here. And I already had this 2 years ago and got rid of it. So I got it again because I've heard so many people say that this series is fantastic and that I'm sleeping on it. Even people that I know I really, really love and recommend, like Tori and Cassidy are obsessed with this. My friend Steph read this and loved this. So like, I feel like I should do my due diligence and read this YA series and let it break me in the best way. Then I always pick these up once a year when I have money because I just don't ever want to actually justify spending $30 on a book. But when I do, I do. And so I got The War of Two Queens by JLA. Could I have got this on Pango? Probably. Oh well, I bought it and it be what it be. I also picked up Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, which apparently I'm not going to like. At least that's what Brittany says. And so I'm hoping that I do actually like it because that would be sad. It's so pretty. And then last but not least, my 2 book of the month from Aardvark. So for June, I got Dreadful by Caitlin Razakis, which I didn't actually know a lot about this before, but it's so freaking cute. It basically says, it's hard enough waking up in a half-destroyed evil wizard's workshop with no eyebrows, no memories, and no idea how long you have before the dread lord whomever shows up to murder you horribly and then turn your skull into a goblet or something. It's a lot worse when you realize that the dread lord whomever is you. That sounds so fun. Oh my gosh. This sounds so fun. I'm really hoping that I like this, and I feel like it could be cozy, but you know what? It looked so cute. I just had to get it. And then my May book choice was Happy Medium by Sarah Adler. This literally looked so cute. It is a con woman who pretends to like be a spirit medium in order to, you know, con people, but she ends up doing it to like this really sexy farmer. And of course it's their love story. And I just love the little bookmarks, and I think this is going to be so cute. And also I can hear Eloise whining outside the door, so I'm going to open the door for her. She was literally laying with her head on the floor so she could get in. Hi queen. So now she's in here. Anyway, that is my update on books and things. I got a lot of books. I'm very excited about it. I'm going to continue listening to Slaying the Shadow Prince while I'm cleaning my house tonight and hopefully get a lot further in it because I have 2 books that I want to submit for sightseeing. I also want to continue reading Heir of Sun and Moon. I also need to get back to The Familiar before it gets too long in between books.
Mom, can you do this?
Yes, hold on. And I need to catch up on my manga. I need to catch up on a lot of things if we're being honest. So anyway, thank you for coming to my very long-winded TED Talk, and I will come back to you in a bit. Hello friends, the air is on, but you know, baby girl is waking up, but she's in a good mood, so she's with dad, so I'll go see her in a minute. But I figured I should give you an update on Slaying the Shadow Prince. Now, the reason I have it on my Kindle is because I have a very sad story for you. I went to church this morning, and I left the book in the car, on the dashboard, in the hot sun for an hour. And the glue melted, and the spine broke, and the pages are all falling out. And so my wonderful husband is going to try to fix that for me, but it was a very sad day. It was a very sad day indeed. So RIP to the book. Thank God it was on Kindle Unlimited. Okay? KU really came through to save this girly pop. But I'm coming here to share with you a ending update. I did not share anything from my first update because I read all of this basically in one sitting for like the last 3 hours. I binged it. I was obsessed with it. 5 freaking stars. Like, love of my life. Like, Talamir and Drew have my heart. I loved this book. I absolutely loved it. It was such a fun, spectacular time. And what makes it even better is that I get 100 GRC for reading this because it's one of Cassidy's favorite reads. And it's also, I could have used it for sightseeing because it's one of Bri's books that she gave. I'm pretty sure 5 stars. Although maybe she gave it 4. I should actually check on that. Either way, I had the best freaking time with it. So I don't know what else to say. I don't know why I slept on this for so long. I don't know why it took so long for me to read this. I'm so excited because now I can finally read Blood and Steel and hopefully get to that this month. I can knock it off for Romanticathon. There's a couple of ones I could knock this off for. I might do it for the Toucher and Die trope, You Die trope, because that was in this and it was glorious, might I say. I just loved this. They were so freaking cute. The scenes was steaming. It was a blast. Honestly, this is one of my favorite books that I've read this month. I am just having a fantastic time over here. I really just am, okay? But of course, while I was reading this and I realized I was behind, Bri dropped another prompt and I was like, mother frigger, I didn't get to submit this and I didn't get to submit my other 3 sightseeing books. And I'm still not going to get to submit my 3 sightseeing books because now I have to read prompt number 4 before I can submit them. So I just have a bunch of sightseeing books that are just waiting in the wings to be read. And unfortunately, this didn't help. So I'm going to go log this right now. And I might as well tell you what I'm reading for prompt 4. So I watched it, and prompt 4 was, we went to Paris, and because the Olympics are being hosted there, she basically said, you know, you get all sorts of awards and stuff when you're at the Olympics, and so the book that you read has to have won an award. And that took me a minute because I went to Goodreads, of course, I started there, and all of the romance and fantasy winners that have won within the past 5 years, I had already read. And so I was like, well, shit. I don't really want to go further back than that because I just don't want to. So then I was like, okay, there's Spiffbo because the Spiffbo winner was Murder at Spindle Manor. It's like a murder mystery fantasy. It's only 245 pages. I could read that. There's also Sword of Kaigen, which won 3 or 4 years ago, which I've wanted to read. However, I had a 25-hour audiobook, so I didn't pick that. However, you're going to laugh because the book that I did pick is also like a 23 or 24-page audio, but I absolutely have to read it, and I have to read it by July 1st for a secret project that I can't share any thoughts about. So honestly, I'm going to be vlogging this book for this and not saying anything about what I'm thinking, not giving you any updates other than where I am in it. And then I'm going to be vlogging a much bigger vlog with spoiler-filled stuff for this secret project. So that's all I can tell you. The book that I'm reading, though, is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. And maybe you're like, Rainy, you haven't read this yet? No, I have not. Have I read ACOTAR twice? Yes. Have I kept telling myself I'm going to continue on with the series? Yes, I have. And when am I continuing? Now. Because I have to read this and be done before July 1st because I have to edit my vlog. So I'm really running out of time. And this motherfreaking book is 628 pages. How dare you do this to me? How dare you? Really, I did it to myself because I waited till the last minute. It's fine. Anyway, I am excited to get to it. I'm excited. I'm sure it's going to be great. I am going to go watch some sort of recap on ACOTAR somewhere in the wild on YouTube because I'm sure somebody has done it because I need to refresh myself before I go into this bad boy. And that is what we are doing. And I have sprints tonight in like half an hour, thank God, so that I can get reading. I need my little self to read. Because I'm so freaking behind. Good morning, friends. A lot has happened since we have last interacted with one another since last night. It is currently the 10th. Hi, Miss Ma'am. And I know, remember I said I was going to read, what was it, Akamath for prompt 4? I changed my mind, and then I had gone to City of Bones by Cassandra Clare because I've always been wanting to start the Shadowhunter series over again. I did read this book, the first 2 books, like 10 years ago, but I don't remember anything that happened. And so I got about 50 pages in, and I was really liking it. But then I was like, okay, I have a bunch of books that I'm in the middle of. I don't need to start another long book. What could I do for leg 4 that's short and sweet? Because I also do have 3 books that I already have ready to log for sightseeing. And then my friend Kelsey said what she was doing, and I decided to copy her. And so I read Heartstopper Volume 1. I've already read this. This was a reread. I wanted to read this whole series during the Amazing Readathon anyway, so it worked out. But that's what I ended up doing. So I reread this, gave it 5 stars again. It was a lovely time. It only gave me 150 points because it was 100 for the pages, and then it was 50 for the LGBTQ plus author. So that's totally fine. I don't care. Because then I submitted 3 more books after that. I submitted Cat and Gamer for, I believe, 300 points for a book with an animal on the cover. And then I submitted A Poison Study by Maria Schneider for 400 points. Although, for what, I cannot remember. Oh yeah, for a book that has over 100,000 ratings, pretty sure. And then I submitted The Promised Neverland Volume 1 for 100 points for a genre blend. And I'm pretty sure. And so I ended up getting like 900 points after all was said and done for my team for leg 4. And so I'm totally fine with that. So now I'm trying to get my way through other books. Like right now I am 33% of the way through Serpent Dove. I can't share anything. That's for a secret project. And then so my main goals for today are to finish Serpent and Dove and The Familiar because I'm only 88 pages in that. I haven't picked that up since my last vlog where I read it on last Tuesday for B&K Sprints. I read like 88 pages and I only have the audio for a couple more days. And then I have to start the Hacienda soon because I lose the audio for that soon and I'm doing that for a secret project. So you know, like, we're just kind of all over the place today if we're being honest. So I'm going to get some reading done. I'll check in with you a little bit later. Tomorrow, friends, and it is time for Conversations with Rainy in the car. Shh. Hopefully nobody is around me to see this. I'm currently about to go to Barnes & Noble because my husband said, go treat yourself and go to the bookstore and buy a book and get away from the kids because you do a lot for this family. And you know what I said to that? I said, treat yourself. Treat yourself. Very happy for that. But I needed to do an update anyway because it is currently Wednesday. We are on leg 4, obviously, and so I think I updated that I read Heartstopper for that. if I didn't. Well, you know, we're on Lake 4. I've done another sightseeing prompt because I just finished Serpent Dove this morning. I also finished it for Romantasy-a-thon for Marriage of Convenience. No, I cannot tell you the rating. It is for a secret vlog, but I read Serpent Dove. And so I was patiently waiting for prompt number 5 to come out. I assumed it would come out today to give us enough time to like do face-off weekend, so that when face-off weekend was done, a new prompt would drop, but who knows? Anyway, it finally just dropped. Going to Cape Town in Africa, and the prompt had to be, which I figured out what it was by the time she said it because of what she was talking about. It had to have some sort of nature on the cover, and so I thought I knew what I was going to read for that, and I was really excited, but it didn't really work out as I hoped. So anyway, I'm going to be reading A Court This Cruel and Lovely by Stacia Stark, which I have to read anyway because my book club, Tortured Readers Book Club, next month they had voted to read that. However, a bunch of us wanted to read it this month to get points for being a host favorite because it's a Cassidy host fave, and we wanted GRC. So we decided, we did another vote, and the group decided that we were going to buddy read the first book in June, and then for the live show in July, the second book would be what we're reading. So A Kingdom That's Fierce and Deadly or something like that. So anyway, I needed to read it. It's 530 pages though, but I'm sure it'll go fast because it's a fantasy romance. You know, I'm gonna have a great time with it. Like, I'm not that worried about it. So I'm going to be reading that while I'm also reading numerous other books. I started Glow of the Everflame yesterday with Katy and Sarah, and I'm obsessed with it, and I really need to get a move on in it because they're like on like chapter 13 and like 22 and I'm on chapter 8, but I really am loving it. I can tell I'm going to binge it and it's going to become my whole personality, that series. And then I have not touched The Familiar in a week, and I just haven't felt the need to do so. And then I need to start The Hacienda today for reasons. Once again, can't really explain why. You know, things are just going around, and I still need to finish The Heir of Sun and Moon, which is like my book club selection. We're just struggling out here in these streets, okay? We're just struggling, but what's new? So I'm gonna go to the bookie store and treat myself. I'll let you know what I get when I'm done.
I get lost in those hazy eyes. I'm in love with these lazy nights. So maybe we can stay back, lay back here and enjoy the ride. I don't wanna feel the night, I just wanna chill under the northern.
There is someone getting into their car next to me, so if they see me, it's whatever. I'm never going to see them again. Anyway, I found a lot more success in the YA section for fantasy. However, I was between like 4 different books. I almost picked up An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Robinson, even though I haven't read Vespertine or A Sorcery of Thorns yet, and so I figured I shouldn't keep collecting her books in case I don't like her writing style. I almost picked up another Rebecca Ross book because I know that I love her writing style because I've read 3 of her books now, and I absolutely love the way she writes. And then I almost picked up, what was the other one I almost picked up? There was another one that I put back. Oh, Lake's Edge, which had a beautiful cover, and I've seen it filling around before, but it had a 3.47. And even though Jan rated it 4 stars, I don't know. So I got 2 different books instead, and they're still a little questionable. So I got Everless by Sarah Holland, which apparently this has been out for a while, and I think I saw Tori from Tori Between Books read this like a year ago, and she binged like the duology and said it was so good. But what really piqued my interest in this one is that friend from Booked and Busy gave this 5 stars, and she does not get 5 stars lightly. So I figured if she gave it 5 stars, it had to actually be good. All I know is that it says time is a prison and she is the key. So I'm intrigued. And then, don't judge me for this one, I got Bella Morte, which used to be apparently a Wattpad book, but it is literally like a vampire celebrity game show, I think. And honestly, that was really all you needed to sell me on it. If it's terrible, I don't know, but it was 3.5 stars, or it was 3.5 stars on Goodreads, but it's only like 280 pages, so like, I don't know, it sounded good, okay? So it says it's one of 5 houses where vampires live like celebrities and humans are paid to be their living donors. Rainey Mayfield came in search of her sister who walked into Bella Morte 5 months ago and never walked out, and then of course falls in love with a vampire. I mean, do we expect this to be fabulous? No. Am I gonna have a grand old time with this? I really hope so, and that's really all you can care for. And I got these together for $18 because I had a $5 off coupon, so win-win to be had for all. Gotta go back home to the chitlins. Good morning, friends. It is currently the morning of face-off weekend sprints, and I have been terrible at updating this vlog lately. I don't know. I've just been busy, and, you know, just life has been lifing. But anyway, I would love to give you an update on A Court This Cruel and Lovely, because I'm pretty sure the last time you saw me was I said that I was going to be reading A Court This Cruel and Lovely, and then I didn't give you any update, and I'm pretty sure that was like 2 days ago. I apologize for that. It be what it be. I am 86% of the way through, and I'm about to make this vlog update very quick because I need to finish this before face off, and it is in 45 minutes and it says I have 48 minutes of the audio left. If I don't finish right in time, then I'm just gonna like finish and then start face off. But I'm really loving this, honestly. I don't even know if I really said what this book is about. In fact, I definitely don't think I did. So this follows our girl named Priska, and basically a long time ago, or when kids are little, like everybody's born with magic, and when they're little, they have to sacrifice their power to the gods, like, and they will get their full power back. They'll still have some power. They'll have like 20% of their power. They'll get their full power back after 25 winters. So basically once they turn 25, they will get their power back. And so it's like a sacrifice to the gods, but the gods will protect their kingdom from the outside fae, which is who they're warring with. So anyway, that happens. But then sometimes some people don't end up losing their magic or getting sacrificed to the gods, and they are considered the corrupt. So they're considered hybrids. They have their magic still when they shouldn't. And of course, hybrids are like executed and sentenced to death. So of course, Priska is one of those girls. And her mom has been hiding her from everyone all them lives so that nobody realizes that she is corrupt. However, at all of the taking ceremonies, it's very dangerous for her to be there. And it's getting more and more dangerous. And so basically, at the next taking, they realize that she is a hybrid and they're going to kill her. And so her mom like pushes her over a cliff and says, find the prince. And that's all that she tells her. And then she ends up meeting this ragtag team of mercenaries, including the wonderful Lorien and his ragtag crew. And basically he says, I need to sneak into the city, and I need you to use your magic, which she can freeze time. That's what her magic is, to help me get in. And she says, only if you help me free my friend who has been taken to be executed, because she also is a hybrid. And so that is where the story takes off. And I'm loving it. I'm having so much fun. The banter is bantering. Lorien, it's very steamy, but it's very slow burn because not much has happened yet until about the 86% mark. But I'm having a fun time. Does this have every trope known to man? Is it anything original? Yes, every trope, and no, it's not that original. But am I loving my time with it? Yes. Do I have theories? No. Should I? Probably. But I don't theorize very well, and I never figure anything out. But you know what? It's fine. So I'm going to go finish this, and then I will update you after that. And then I'm getting ready to start my first read for Face Off. And I'm either going to start with Green Fuse Burning or A Spindle Splintered. And I'm not 100% which one yet. I am wanting to read this really badly, so I might pick this, but I don't know. I might want to start with a shorter one just to like knock a book out of the park. I'm going to be reading a bunch of manga this weekend. It's going to be a fun, exciting time. But I'll come back to you with an update when I finish this. I have so many book reading updates for you with the baby. Anyway, first thing, got some book mail from my friend Sarah. She sent me the first 2 mangas in the Promised Neverland, which I read this last week. Absolutely really loved it. And so she had them, and she was never going to read them because she realized that this series wasn't for her, so I got them from her. Super excited. I might start this one for Face Off weekend. I'm not sure yet. But I have a lot of updates to give you. First off, I finished this 5 minutes after Face Off weekend started, so I finished Leg 5, and I'm giving this a 4.5 stars. I almost gave it a 5 because I was really vibing with it, but then I realized I only want to give 5 stars to books that like I will definitely shout about from the rooftops. And that's not one of these books. That's not one of these books. Like, I absolutely loved this book, but when I think of it compared to, like, When the Moon Hatched, or Magnolia Park's Long Way Home, or even Glow of the Everflame, which I haven't finished yet, those books are masterpieces. This one was a fun, easy time. It is definitely a popcorn read. I'm excited to read book number 2 for our book club in July, because that's what we're doing. And I got 100 GRCR for this, which is fabulous. However, it's not a 5-star, but it is a 4.5, okay? It's really, really close. I had such a fun time with this. I think this is also a really great entry point for fantasy romance readers because it reads so easily. It has a lot of the tropes that we all know and love. I did tag this for Romantacy-a-thon for Band of Misfits because of the mercenaries in it, so that was a fun time. And then I've read 2 other books since we've seen each other last. I immediately, after that, tried to read, and I'll have to put it, he knocked over my camera, and I luckily grabbed it in time, so we're safe. I've read 2 books since then. I then picked up a book that was on Leandra's host favorites called Green Fuse Burning, and I'll have to put a picture up because I accidentally returned it to the library before I was able to hold up my Kindle. It's called Green Fuse Burning. It's 100 pages. Can I tell you what it's about? Absolutely not. Do I know what happened in it? No. Leandra is far smarter than I, unfortunately, but like I've always known that. She reads smart books. She likes smart books. So I'm honestly not going to give you a lot of time to talk about this book. We're just going to move on from this book. And I read it and I gave it a 2.5 stars. And that's all you need to know. And that's the first book I logged for Face Off. Then I was going to switch over and read one of the books that I was going to read for my 30 manga in 30 days, Snow White with the Red Hair. I got 7 pages into this, decided this manga wasn't for me, DNF'd it, so I didn't do that. So then I was like sitting around wondering what I should read, and then it came to me, I've only read the first 2 books in the Mindf series. I've always wanted to finish, and so this is the weekend to do just that. Since I hadn't read the first 2 books since 2022, I decided that it was time to do a reread. So I just finished book number 1, which is The Risk, and initially when I read it, I gave it a 5-star. But after reading it now, I gave it a 4. Honestly, it's pretty cringe, like I'm not gonna lie. It was one of the first books that I read when I got back into reading, and so I probably really enjoyed it. But I still had a good time with it. Like, if you don't know what this is about by now, it's about our girl Lana. She is a serial killer who is just righting the wrongs to this group of men that did something terribly horrible to her 10 years ago. But she's also having a relationship, a whirlwind romance with an FBI detective agent who ends up eventually being assigned to her case to basically find her, but doesn't realize that he's trying to find her. And so it's her trying to, finish the job, but also have a romance with the FBI man. And so book 1 leaves off with her still in this relationship. He is not necessarily involved in her case yet, and then something twisty happened at the end that I can't tell you about because otherwise that'll spoil things. But I really liked it. It was 4-star. I'm probably going to intersperse stuff in between reading this, so I'm not going to read book 2 right away. I think I should be reading manga, but I'm not really in the mood to read manga right now. So I think what I'm going to read next, because I just got the audio for it because Audible's having a huge ass sale, which I'll show a haul of that soon. I'm gonna read The Dare by Harley LaRue, and yes, this is a special edition from Dark and Disturbed because it was only $3 for the audio on Audible, and it is just 100 pages. Yeah, exactly 100. So I think this will knock out pretty quick. I do know that it's kinky and steamy, and it got banned from Amazon at one point for all of the content that it has and the trigger warnings. So you know what? I'm just gonna be fully expecting 100 pages of pure smut, and I haven't read that in a minute, so let's just get to it. With headphones, of course, we want to protect the ears of our little tiny children. Here we go.
Sadie, you save me, keep me from floating away. Blue dream, baby, you leave me with nothing to say but
Okay, friends, I need to close out this vlog because it's been too long. It's been over a week of doing this vlog, and I want it to be done. So, I need to update you though, because I told you I was reading The Dare, and then I didn't update you with anything, and I have read a lot of books since then. I've read quite a lot. So, I did read The Dare last night. It took like a little over an hour, and I had so much fun with this book. So, I don't think I actually said what this is about. So, this is about a popular girl named Jessica who has like this one night stand, or has this like one day relationship with like this kid that like is like a punk, like a goth boy, like nobody really likes him, but she just finds herself attracted to him. And then of course her ex, who's like the most popular guy in school, like has his whole crew like beat him up, and then she never sees him again because like he like leaves high school, doesn't come back. So then it's right after they've all graduated, and she's going to a party where her ex is going to be, like a popular like kids party, and all of a sudden Manson is there. His name is Manson. Get it? Like Manson. Anyway, his name is Manson, and they meet each other, and they play this game against each other, like kind of like ping pong, or not ping pong, kind of like beer pong. And basically every time that it lands in a cup that says dare, you have to give each other a dare. And so he gives her very like kinky dares, like kiss my boots and like things like that, or like take your underwear off or whatever. And then finally the last one is, if you like, she loses, and he says, I'll give you a chance, or so if you sink this ball, and the next one is you have to be my slave for the night. And then he gives her a chance to like try again and not have to do that, but like if she misses, she really does have to be a slave. And so she decides to like play into it because she's kind of like attracted to him, and so they have like a very steamy night. And that's all I'm gonna say. But this is a setup for The Losers books 1 and 2, because apparently it's like a year after the events of this night happen that she's back with like him and his crew, and it's like they're like why choose relationships, because he has a like crew of boys, and that's all. I don't want to like give away what happens. This was very steamy. I was very much here for this. I had a great time. Honestly, I was expecting it to be more kinky because this has been banned from Amazon. Like, I was expecting some creepy shit, okay? I was expecting some creepy eepy shit. It was not that bad, but I very much liked it. I'm very excited to read the rest of the series, so now I will be moving that up the priority. However, since then, I have also read other books, and can I name all of these books to you? No, which is why I'm gonna have to pull up my Goodreads. Did I want to update you while I was reading? Yes, but you know, alas, sometimes we just don't get there, now do we? Oh, Okay, we have read a lot since then. And actually, you're resting on the 2 books that I need to talk to you about. So I'm gonna have to update the camera. I changed angles, sorry. Okay, so I read a couple manga. So, oh, this is the first one. Oops, I didn't mean to grab that. Oh, well, it's fine. I read the first volume in Doughnuts Under a Crescent Moon by Shsdow Uzi. I have the first 2 volumes of this, and I really, really love this. This is a sapphic romance. It's basically about one girl named Hanako who she, like, tries to be as fashionable as possible in the hopes that, like, that'll make her seem normal and, like, she can find someone to fall in love with, but, like, she keeps not really finding a spark with the guys that are interested in her, and she thinks there's something wrong with her, but then she ends up becoming friends with Sato. I don't know if I'm saying these names wrong, but she becomes friends with this girl at work who's, like, higher up than her in their workplace, who's, like, very, like, chill, a loner, kind of to herself, and then she realizes, like, oh, I might actually be, like, interested in this one, and so it's, like, their friendship / relationship blossoming, and they didn't get together in the first one, but this is so stinking cute. I gave it a 4 stars. It was just a warm, cuddly, fun time. I really loved, like, the stuff that they brought out in each other, like the love, the affection was there. It was super duper cute. And then after that, I went to, like, the total opposite type of manga. I went a totally different route, and I read Yakuza Fiance Volume 1, which this one is a mafia romance, dark romance. So this is about Yoshino, who is this princess of one of the largest crime families. And she basically gets offered off to this other crime family to, like, be, I guess, a peace offering, and so they're going to have an arranged marriage between, like, the oldest daughter and the oldest son. And when she first gets there, like, they decide for a year that they'll just get to know each other before they have an arranged marriage, and he seems, like, all nice, super sweet, and then one day he, like, secretly ends up exposing himself, basically saying stuff like, you're boring, you're not the, like, fun, exciting girl I thought you were, like, you don't have anything going for you except for your looks, like, you should go sell yourself, and just get out of my life. And then she decides, I'm gonna make this relationship work, and she comes back and she does some crazy shit. All I can say is the word kidney. That's all I can say. Was not expecting that. And so honestly, at the end, I don't really know what's going to happen in the next volume, but am I intrigued? Yes. Did I give it a 5 star because it was dark and creepy and weird and I didn't really know why I loved it, but I did because he's such a sadomasochist? Yes. Okay. Yes, I did. You know, I'm here for it. I'm very much here for it. I don't know what that says about me, but I'm here for it. And then basically the whole rest of the time I got really sidetracked and I ended up reading the entire Mindf series by S.T. Abby. So yeah, that happened. I had currently read books 1 and 2 like 2 years ago, and so I decided I needed to try again and read them all, and so that's what I did, and I spent the rest of my time reading that. I didn't get to read as many books and manga as I wanted to because today we celebrated Father's Day because we figured that dinner and going out tomorrow was going to be insanely busy, so we went out to dinner tonight and then we watched Finding Dory and, like, we just had a good family time together. So it took me most of today to get this read because, I mean, my edition is 700 pages long, so I basically read like 700 pages in a day, even though it was 5 short little novellas. And I gave the first 4 5 stars, or no, 4 stars. And the last one I'm sitting on because I don't know if I necessarily love the route that this went / like how things went down. I don't know if that's really what I was wanting. So I'm going to have to sit on my rating for the last one and then decide as a whole what my overall rating for the series is because I thought it was going to be a 4, but honestly I'm kind of annoyed, but I'm not annoyed by the ending. I just don't know if I like it. So I have to sit with it for a minute, you know, like I have to let it marinate. But I read this, and I will say, there are times that I should have literally vlogged because my reactions to these things, like, she literally chops off the areas of all the men that she, you know, assaults. And she ends up assaulting 2 men at the same time. And not only does she chop off their areas, she puts their thing in the other person's mouth and sews it shut. I gagged when I read that, honestly. And then there was another thing that I remember reading and I was like, no. So yeah, there was gore. It was violent, but it was also a dark romance at the end of it all. And you know what? I love a good serial killer, good for her moment. Like, you get your due, Lana. They get what's coming to her. Okay. Anyway, that is what mainly took up the rest of my night. And so it is currently Saturday night. Face-off is going to end tomorrow at noon, but I can't read anymore because I'm going to be going to church worship rehearsal and church, and by the time I get out it'll be like 1, and so face-off will be over. So I've submitted all of the Mindf books and I am done submitting stuff. So for face-off weekend in total, I mean, for this whole vlog, we read a lot, honestly, if we review. I read The Bridge Kingdom. I read Done and Dusted. I read Poison Study. I read The Promised Neverland. I read Cat and Gamer. I read Heartstopper. I read Slaying the Shadow Prince, Serpent and Dove, And then we get to what I read for Face Off. So before Face Off, I read 8 books. And then I read Green Fuse Burning, The Risk, which is book 1 of Mindf, The Hort, The Cruel and Lovely, The Dare, Doughnuts Under a Crescent Moon, Yakuza Fiance, All the Lies, which is Mindf book 4, Scarlet Angel, which is Mindf book 3, Sidetracked, which is Mindf number 2, and Painted All Red, which is Mindf number 5. I read 10 books, which means I read a total of 18 books this week. That's wild to me. That's the most I've ever read. I think I'm up to like 22 or 23 for the month so far, and we're halfway. This is going to be a long wrap up at the end of the month. But anyway, if you got to the end of this long, convoluted vlog, let's put an apple, okay? Let's put a nice apple for the Mindf series, okay? Let me know what you're reading. Let me know what you're loving. Let me know if you're participating in the Amazing Readathon. Okay, friends? Okay. And with that, I'll see you in a video super soon. Bye.